This is not talking about Tiff. I'm talking about the comments that are being made with you guys surmising the stupid shit off of the little information that she gave. And it wasn't even a bad video. But you need to know this fucking information before you go ahead and tear this down. Why isn't Bart saying stuff? What is he going to say aside from saying something that makes Tiff look bad?
Yeah.
He still cares about her. He doesn't want to fucking destroy her. Because I asked him, well, how come you haven't put out a video? Because the reasoning is, what can I say that makes Tiff look good? It doesn't make her look good. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go. Being a little fancy today. I got myself a little vino. And to give you guys a little background, this bottle of wine is $120 fucking dollars. I walked outside. I see my fiance. She was mumbling something to me. I look into her glass. 7 ice cubes inside this wine. This fucking woman. I literally told her this is a very expensive bottle of wine. By the way, I'm not a wine snob. I don't know what makes it expensive, but the bottle of wine was sent to me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is pricey. It should be for a special occasion. It's worth a certain amount of money. And I look at her and I see 4 or 5 ice cubes in there. I'm like, what did you do? She goes, it's better this way. We have cheap wine in our little wine cabinet. She could have used any of those and she chose to do it with this.
Just put some chilled water in there. You know, just open a bottle of water and put it in your wine. She's like,
oh my God, do you have any Splenda? How you been, Ed?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing better. I'm doing daily physical therapy routines, stretching daily, doing rolling exercises.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I actually stopped smoking weed.
Which is crazy because you smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah. So I've been off of it for about a month now. I was telling you earlier, like the weird part about weed withdrawals is that the extreme symptoms of consuming too much weed kind of happen when you're off of it. You know? I mean, not the psychosis, obviously, but the paranoia, the depression, the anxiety. Gotten over a lot of that. But the fucking dreams I've been having are fucking wild, dude.
What are some dreams that you had?
So like, okay, recent one. So, you know, I've talked about how, you know, I have this old resentment for the church, right? I had this fucking dream that I went back to my old church that I grew up in, right? And it was run down, right? It was like falling apart. And it was just gated like all around with just thick fences. No one could see inside it. Mm-hmm. But when I go inside, it's like disgusting and gross. And so there's a new pastor there and he's just this Korean dude, barely speaks English. And I come around like, hey, I grew up in this church. You know, I have a background in this and that. I can help volunteer and help out, right? He's like, no. You can do this, right? And he gives me a bucket of paint, of white paint, right? He's like, paint the walls and make it look nice. Right? And I look in the can and it's a potato.
What the fuck?
And I need a potato to paint the walls white, to whitewash it, right? And I'm sitting there painting the walls white, but you can still see the cracks in the walls. You can still see it falling apart. You can still see just it being decrepit. Just painting it white though. And I was getting upset in my dream and super angry. And so I went to confront this pastor, like, this is bullshit. I can do so much more than this, right? And
give me more than a potato, you son of a bitch.
He's like, no, just do what I say.
Yeah.
And I get so angry, I end up chasing him because I'm going to fucking beat his ass.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's running away from me. And because of the stress and anger, I woke up like, what the fuck?
What was he saying when you were chasing him? I'm so sorry.
Hey, Jesus don't like that. You know, Ephesians? Do you read Ephesians 3? No. I told my therapist about that dream and he was like, that's everything you've been telling me about, man.
Yeah.
Like, just think about it. Like, you're still angry, rightfully so. Mm-hmm. Like, you see that the foundations of this church or whatever, there's something wrong with it. But then what they want you to do is just make it look nice up front. You know, and even in the dream, this Korean pastor, I don't even know, it was just some made up Korean dude, but it
was his hair parted to the side.
Yes.
did he have glasses?
Yes.
That's like my Korean nightmare pastor right there.
it was like, because if you recognize like a lot of English ministries and Korean churches, like, or young adult ministries, they just cycle through pastors all
the time.
There's no pastor who's there for life, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like a home community thing. So it's like another new guy who doesn't give a shit about me and it just wants me to do what he says.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy fucking shit, I can't believe I'm having dreams like this, you know?
Yeah.
And my therapist was so happy to hear this dream because apparently he's got some kind of background in hypnotherapy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's read a lot about dreams.
He's like, dude, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Yeah, he was just like so excited to hear. It's like, I'm so happy. Yeah, you had this.
It's like, let's break this fucking dream down.
Yeah.
I always have, I have like this note full of like random dreams that I have.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this dream on the podcast. I always wanted to tell I wanted to tell this dream to a dream person because I wanted to know what they thought about it because of how weird and psychedelic it was.
Right, like a dream interpreter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I've told this dream on this podcast before, but I'll say it again for new listeners. It was a dream about, so if you walk into a forest, right, you see this big forest and light's kind of leaking through it. And then when you walk through the forest, you see this mansion. It's not dark, by the way. It's beautiful and it's sunny, but it's kind of an older mansion. Like it has like big steeples and steeps, like, you know, like the castle cylinders or whatever. So you walk into this place and I go in and I walk up the stairs and I go into this room. And in this room, it looks like a preschool. Like, so you see all these colorful walls with drawings on it and like green mountain hills that are in the shape of a U with the sun in the corner.
Yeah.
I see a bunch of toys. I look forward and I look up and I see this gigantic robot. And this gigantic robot turns around and he says something along the lines, and I forgot, I'll read the journal again or the thing, but it was just like, run from here or get out of here, right? And he like collapses and he falls. Well, it was in the voice of our multi-million-dollar friend that I was just telling you about.
Right.
Right. Who used to be the former manager of one of our friends.
Right.
So she's there. And then she turns into, she's a fox. She turns into a fox. And he's telling me like, don't trust her. And then so we're running out of this whole place together. We go out. And by the way, the details are a little fuzzy right now. I wrote it down, but this is what I'm kind of recollecting. And when we're in this car together, like this fox is talking in her voice. And I'm like, holy shit, this is this girl. But towards the end, like we go into this town that has a trailer and there's like other foxes there. But in the dream, basically what happened was I ditched this person because of the warning that the robot told me. And when he collapsed and he falls over and he's dying, he's like, don't trust her. And then I fucking woke up. It was like, what the fuck is this weird world? And like I always wanted to know what that shit meant. It was so fucking odd.
Well, I think maybe the preschool setting was probably something where something you could trust that was inviting, especially in your childhood, because maybe now, like you said, it was a nice house, right? It was like a nice mansion castle. It wasn't like a Edward Scissorhands kind of castle, right? So obviously there was an invitation, right? And,
it was creepy, but it felt warm at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was probably something you would have wanted maybe in your young age, right?
Yeah.
But then I think, you know, it's not saying, oh, when you were a toddler, maybe, but at a younger age, had you know, this is some advice you would have to adhere to before you had met this person, but you didn't ever got that advice, right? So perhaps in your subconscious, this guy that you trust and you respect very much, who is a big, you know, guy, you know, to see him fall apart was good enough, you know, reason for you to like
not to trust this person. Yeah. It was so weird though. Like I can, if somebody could go into my mind, I could literally draw everything that I saw. It was so weird watching this. And you like also too, like the interpretation of a fox is you're sly, like you're slick, you're a liar. Yeah. You know, you kind of do things just to get things out of people too. And that was like the creepy part too, because I've always kind of felt a certain way about this person too. And like, it's weird too, because we actually had dinner with this mutual friend and I had a conversation with Ed after, and I was thinking to myself, like, the fuck is wrong with this person? And I had asked him, I was like, what's wrong with this like friend of ours? Like, why is this person literally laughing at everything that I'm saying? I was like, is this person in like the fucking sunken place? Like, what is going on? And he just was like overly trying to compensate for something. Like, oh, I missed you so much. You're so this and that. And, you know, for me too, like, I'm trying to be as nice as I can now. I'm not as blunt as before, but I definitely had to make fun of her while we were eating. You know what I mean? It's like, it was hard not to, but I still get that same feeling from this person. It's always odd. But what we are going to talk about today, and I know that a lot of people want to talk about this because got a few comments. It's, you know, I'm not really a part of this company anymore, right? But everybody knows it, right? They're talking about the whole the Tiffany exodus from Just Kidding Films, right?
Right.
Now, before we have this conversation, I do want to preface this for people who are listening. I am friends with both sides, and they're all friends too. And I feel like this situation is being blown out of proportion by people in the comments. Because I saw the video. The video was not bad. And so I was a little confused as to like what people were so upset about. Because there's these comments writing about, oh, you guys are supposed to be families. I can't believe you did that to Tiff. I was like, what did she say that they did? Saw the video. It was very mild.
Yeah.
You know? I was like, wait, what? It seems like they, you know, mutually decided to split.
Yeah.
Here's where my issue comes in. And by the way, this is no commentary on Just Kidding Films, Bart and Joe, or Tiff.
Yeah.
I have an issue with the comments, right?
Yeah.
Because of statements that are being made about a company and about people, even the stuff that people are saying about Tiff that they don't really fucking know about.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what the company culture is. And the crazy thing is that every time, and it happened once before in the company, right? People make assumptions about the company without saying anything. And the shitty situation about this is that you have, you know, two people, Bart and Joe, who aren't going to come out and say like, well, this is the great stuff that we've done. This is not who they are. It also looks self-masturbatory, right? It looks like you're jacking yourself off, like, oh, I'm so great.
Just Bart and Joe.
Exactly. Bart and Joe.
Why'd you put that image in my head?
I know. Bow, 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 bow. They're just like jacking each other off. As they're shooting Just Kidding Films, you see the Facebook get really red.
Like they're just reaching across.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. They're not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
By the way, we didn't have a conversation prior to this. So I feel like the things that I'm going to say, they're going to be okay with. And if they have a problem with it, we'll talk about it after.
And I'm just an objective third party.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
he doesn't know them really.
I don't know them.
Yeah. But you have been on Just Kidding News
I was on
before.
Just Kidding News, and it was a great fucking time. I really liked, you know, even what came out of it and what I got out of it, to be honest. So I didn't see anything like this coming, to be honest.
Yeah. And so let's break a couple of things down, right? And I want to break down a couple of comments that people have made, right? They want to talk about the work culture in Just Kidding Films, right?
Yeah.
And they said that how can you do this to an employee who is an integral part of you? You guys are supposed to be family. Okay. We're going to break down that part too, but I do want to set people's idea of how fucking amazing it is to work for this company. Like, if you guys think that this is some kind of like these two despotic rulers that are just telling people what to do all the time, you have got something really wrong. Everybody on Just Kidding Films, just for you guys, I'm not going to give you guys numbers, are paid really well. Really well. Let's address this then. Let's talk about a part of her video that people have been mentioning in the comments. And I didn't look deep into the video because I thought the video was fine, but I guess people interpreted it differently. And one of the comments that I read was, they were talking about how she was in limbo because she didn't have a job for 2 months and no income. Okay, well, let's talk about this for a second. For those of you out there that don't know, do you know how many times, how many days we worked on Just Kidding Films or Just Kidding News per month? Just guess. 3 times a week? 2 times a week? 4 times a week? 2 hours a day? We shot 3 to 4 days a month.
Yeah.
We shot 3 to 4 days a month.
Yeah.
Just Kidding News, we boiled it down. It wasn't like this in the beginning because we shot longer hours. But then at the time we got shot longer, we got paid a lot more too.
Yeah.
And people were still fairly handsomely compensated now. And Tiff can corroborate this too. She knows this. She had no ill will towards them. So 3 to 4 times a month. So when we had this rhetoric, they iced Tiffany out for 2 months. I was like, okay. When you say ice somebody out for 2 months, not knowing what your job entails, right? They're only working 4 days a month.
You have like 27, 26 days to do whatever you want.
Exactly. And Tiff knows this too. You could even ask her. She's not going to shy away from this. We would have personal conversation. She goes like, I'm not doing anything for like the whole week.
Yeah.
So she knows about this, right?
Yeah.
And obviously in her video too, I mean, she seems like a little salty about the situation, which of course she has every right to. She is moving from a job that she had with friends and it didn't work out because they had different interests or whatever it was personally behind the scenes that I don't know about, right? So I understand her feelings are 100% valid. I'm going to make a commentary about, I need people to understand what the work life is. So when somebody says they're iced out for 2 months, it's not you're working for 20 days out of the month.
Yeah.
Like most people do.
Yeah.
It's 4 days out of the fucking month, guys. So the other thing that's very weird about this, right? And this is the video that I saw from her, right? I think people kind of took her narrative and they started writing her narrative for her. That she wasn't saying.
So I understand why you're upset with this too, because I saw the video too, and I was like, okay, we went down this way, I guess, you know. But then by reading the comments, it's like, I knew Bart and Joe was. Yeah. I always thought that. Like, how the fuck did you always know?
How did you know?
And how do you even make that assumption based on what she said? If she feels like this, it must be this way. No. There's probably an infinite amount of fucking possibilities of what it's like.
Exactly. And once again,
and you're making it clear right now.
This podcast is brought to you by Junbi Matcha. If you haven't had delicious, earthy, smooth, great Junbi Matcha, you are missing out. Matcha is great for caffeine, has antioxidants, super healthy for you, earthy, rich, amazing. I have matcha every morning, and I gotta say, it's the best pick-me-up ever. And if people are wondering what the quality of the matcha that we sell is like, I have literally been there myself, and I'm telling you right now, we have like 70-year-old Japanese grandmas that pick the leaves individually, beautifully shaded to go ahead and boost the caffeine. It has something called L-theanine, which helps release the caffeine in your system slowly so you don't crash. To get 10% off your first order of tins and packets, go to junbishop.com. That's JUNBI shop.com and enter code GeniusBrain to get 10% off your first order. That's JUNBI shop.com. Code GENIUS. Get that 10% off, my friends. Don't wait on it, and let me know how you like it because I loves it. It is the easiest fucking job. Now, to Tiff's credit, she has to do research and do the articles, right?
Yeah.
Well, she could say herself, like I said, I've had conversations where she's like, for weeks, I don't do anything. Sometimes she said that she wouldn't even shower because she's like doing nothing. So she has a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Right? All right. So what's the rebuttal of that? Well, she still didn't know that she was in jeopardy with her job. Well, this is information that I got from her video. And she might have been in a very emotional place because she was very upset. So I understand.
Yeah.
But she also said, I was iced out for 2 months. And then she continues and says, I was gone in Mexico for a couple of weeks or 2-3 weeks because of a family emergency. And then she goes, when I came back, I had to go to Dallas for another week or two. Right. Wait, so were you iced out for 2 months or did you leave for personal reasons? So within that timeline, I don't think maybe because she was upset, she didn't understand. Maybe she felt that's what she felt.
Yeah.
Versus what actually happened. But by the way, this is information that is in her video.
Yeah.
So she was gone for about a month within those 2 months that she was iced out, but you were not here. And then she said that afterwards that they had scheduling conflicts. But I thought you were iced out, meaning that there was zero communication about your job. Also, too, she did mention in the video, too, which, once again, Tiff will tell you guys this, too. She didn't feel like she was within the system of JK. It changed for her. She didn't feel like she was close or like close to like the comedy or whatever that it was. And once again, this is information from her video, right? Which I understand. She's communicated that to me before, too, that, she didn't feel like it was the same and she wanted to move on. She has consistently stated multiple times that she didn't want to work.
Yeah.
She wanted to do other things. Which good for her, by the way, because they did Big Mood.
Yeah.
Right? And Big Mood does really fucking well. On top of that, she has her own personal channel. So when people say like, how can you keep her job and her money in jeopardy? Do you guys know Tiff makes more than me?
Damn.
Tiff makes more than probably Joe.
Damn.
She makes a lot of fucking money. I'm like shocked. It's like, Joe lives in a garage. He lives in a garage, an aunt's garage, one of his employees' garage. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And
this dude is broke.
He downgraded a whole bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I remember before I moved to Washington, he was driving a Jaguar and a Maserati, right? And and then he pulled up here to do boxing like...
Yeah, and his fucking broke his Land Cruiser.
So I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah. Like, what are people talking about here? As if she's this poor soul. Don't pity Tiff. Tiff is doing fucking great. She's doing fan-fucking-tastic. And I want to go ahead and put this in a bigger background too, since we want to talk about how terrible the JK company is, right? Somebody mentioned, and I read this in the comments, and I've seen it multiple times about, I guess in the video, I don't remember this part of the video, but people have said in the comments multiple times that, oh, she was an intern for a year and a half and she didn't get paid. So here's a little background information for people who don't know. All right, this might blow your fucking mind. You know who else wasn't paid on JK News for more than a year and a half? Let's say 4 to 5 years who wasn't paid? Bart and Joe. So you motherfuckers didn't even know that, did you? So the year and a half that she was interning, and once again, she wasn't saying that to shit on them.
Yeah.
It's just to give her an aspect of how attached she was to the company.
And then in the comments they were like, oh, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's their narrative. That's not Tiff's narrative.
Yeah.
Bart and Joe, and I'm pretty sure they don't want to say that. I'll say this for them. They were not paid. They didn't pay themselves for the first 4 to 5 years, maybe, of JK Films. They were fucking broke. I made way more money than them.
Yeah.
When we would go out to eat, sometimes I would pay for their fucking meals. I'm not allowed to now. Bart, last time I tried to pay for him, almost broke my fucking hand. But like,
boy, yeah.
He was broke as fuck. Let me just tell you how fucking broke they were during the time that Tiff was an intern. Bart lived in his mom's rental home that she let him live there for free, and they gave Joe a discount in the back studio where he could live at a discounted price. Yeah. The only income that they fucking made is from shows. At the time during YouTube, those first 4 to 5 fucking years, guys, you know how much we got paid at shows? We got paid maybe $2 or $3 grand at fucking most. They had to split that with Gio, Bart, and Joe.
Right.
I made $2 to $3 grand, but it was all mine, and I split my manager 10%.
Yeah.
That's how little fucking money they made. So the audacity for people to say, oh, money fucking changes you. 4 to 5 years, they did not take a fucking single paycheck. Funny thing is, guess who made a paycheck in the company though? Casey. Casey was the only paid employee at the time because all their money that they had for the company and JK Films was given to him. Right. He was the only one that was a salaried person since the beginning till the end.
Right.
But people don't know this because they won't fucking say it.
I mean, and that was what I was reading in the comments, like because of, you know, the how she explains the fact of being an intern or whatever, and then they turn it like once again. Oh, I always knew Bart and Joe were cheap or shady like that or whatever. But on the other hand, too, like I said, once again, I'm just the third-party objective viewer on this because I don't know. I have never had an internship longer than 3 months.
Exactly.
Like by that point, it's like there's a 90-day period where you're just like, hey, am I going to get paid or not? And for me, it's like, then I left.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what happened with this company too is that because during this time, in the first 4 to 5 years, JK Films wasn't making money. They were making sketches every fucking week. Imagine doing a Dave Chappelle type of show, but there's no season break for 4 to 5 years, writing new sketches, right? This is what they were doing. The company was not making any fucking money. Well, one day we were sitting around, and I specifically remember this. It was at a all-you-can-eat sushi spot out in Vegas. And we were sitting around bullshitting like we normally do in the parking lot, having a good fucking time, sitting in the parking lot talking for 3 to 4 hours. And then we go, why don't we just film this shit?
Yeah.
Look how funny this conversation. People should hear this type of stuff, right? During this time, Bart and Joe are broke as fucking fuck. I know how poor, they were fucking broke as shit.
Yeah.
Right? This is during the time Tiff wanted to intern. So, and once again, you could even ask Tiff about this, and she knows about this too, and she's not going to deny this. She just had a short video. She can't tell you all this like specific stuff, but I can. So during this time, Tiff was working as I believe a phlebotomist, but she was working in the hospital, and and she was telling us how she didn't want to work there anymore. She wanted to do other things. She had zero background in entertainment whatsoever. She didn't. She knew nothing about entertainment. She only knew Casey.
Yeah.
Bart and Joe have a fucking habit. And this is one thing I dislike about them, right? Of fucking hiring people who aren't experienced. Right. Like they always do this. Because they always look at people, they go, they have potential. They have potential. I mean, what fucking company does this, dude? You hire people who can help build. Yeah. But they don't do that. They find people and they build together, which is a good and bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Tiff was one of those people that they wanted to help build because it was Casey's girlfriend. They cared about her. And she wanted to be outside of her job. Yeah. So she also mentioned in the video that she was our assistants. It was me, Bart, and Joe. Guess what? The reason why she was our assistant was because she wanted to quit her job and do something outside of it. there wasn't enough budget in Just Kidding Films or Just Kidding News to pay anybody else because Casey was getting paid. We had a few editors and we just started Just Kidding News. There wasn't much money.
Yeah.
And so what we did is that Bart took a stipend out of his paycheck and Joe too. And then they asked me on the side, which Tiff doesn't actually know this either, if I can make her my assistant so she could have some pay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, bless your heart, bro.
And so I said, yes. I didn't need a fucking assistant.
Yeah.
I shot a video in my bedroom. What the fuck do I need an assistant for?
Yeah.
They asked me as a favor to help her leave that hospital and hire her as my assistant. Tiff doesn't know that, right? So when we talk about this narrative, I was their assistant and I was their, I'm not shitting on Tiff. I'm shitting on the people who commented.
Yeah.
Like Tiff couldn't explain this stuff. And, she said multiple times in the thing how grateful she is. I'm just giving you guys the data behind why she's grateful.
Yeah.
They could not afford to hire anybody else. So we hired her as our assistant to do stuff that we could already do. Or me anyways. I don't know about Bart. Bart was actually pretty busy because he just started Barbell Brigade. So he needed help a lot.
Yeah.
So this is a background of who these bosses are, who you guys are calling terrible fucking human beings. Okay, now let's go ahead and put some more information out just so you guys know what the workplace is like. So we want to talk about this unpaid internship, right? Here's a fucking piece of information that some of you pieces of fucking shit don't know. Ask anybody who works for a fucking company, right? When they were interning, right, quote unquote interning for free, is because there was no money. Bart and Joe weren't paying themselves either. I wasn't getting paid. The only people that were getting paid were editors, i.e. her husband. Yeah. And there was there was like Daniel Kwan and a few other people. They were the ones getting the paychecks. Nobody else was. Yeah. We were taking money from anywhere else that we could. So on top of this, we all had a huge brand deal. It was this company that Jeff Bezos started. He was trying to develop a company that was a competitor to YouTube. Well, when this company, they gave JK a fat sum to repost their content on their platform. They actually gave me money too, separate from JK, because I have my own brand.
Yeah.
And JK took half of that money, a sizable amount of it, put it aside to open up the new office, which you guys all saw.
Yeah.
That's where that money went. The other half, or the other chunk of it, for people who don't know, for that year and a half that we all entered and didn't get paid, they cut that money for us and split it percentage-wise to all of us. Not a bonus. Not a, here's $500 for bonus. Not $1,000 bonus. Not a $2,000, $3,000. They gave us a percentage cut of the biggest deal that Just Kidding News had because they were grateful and thankful, and rightfully so, that we helped out and didn't get paid.
So it's like months of back pay.
Yes, it was back pay. So it was not a free fucking internship.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Right? And once again, Tiff would have explained all this shit, but it was just a quick video. It wasn't for everybody else to go ahead and go crazy with this information.
Yeah.
You guys don't know this type of shit because these guys aren't going to say it. Like, they split. What company does that? What company gets a huge sum and says, I'm going to split a percentage of my profits with all the employees?
Legally, they're entitled to just keep that shit.
Exactly. Yeah. By the way, some people who got that check don't even know that. I know that because I'm their friend.
Yeah.
They don't know that you got a split percentage of the fucking profits of a company that you put zero money into. Like, this is what blows my mind. That's why I'm getting fucking heated when I read these comments. You don't know the sacrifice and how much work they put into to get where we're at right now. Right. Like, it blows my fucking mind. Let me tell you something else too. This gets even crazier.
Keep going.
You know, in Just Kidding News and Just Kidding Films, you essentially have unlimited vacation. All you have to do is let Bart and Joe know when you're going to leave and they would cover you. Because also two people mentioned like, oh, she was getting paid project to project. And she's 100% right. But guess what? That was only starting probably 2020, maybe late 2019, because the company was going under because of AdSense.
Yes.
So that's when everybody started getting paid video per video. Before that, for nearly 3 or 4 years, it was salary based, whether you showed up to work or not, no matter what emergency. I was on Gook, the film. I was gone for 2 to 3 months. They paid me 3 months and I didn't show up for work once.
Right. Damn.
Whenever we went on, because they knew I had a project and they're like, David wants to do this film. We're going to support him and make sure that he has a check. This is what they did for me. During that film time, I actually quit doing YouTube. I wasn't making any money at all. They gave me money so I could pay my fucking rent.
Oh.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Guess what else? That's to anybody in the company that was a part of Just Kidding Films, like Just Kidding News. So, and you guys also know too, and once again, Tiff can tell you guys this too. You guys seen on her Instagram, she was traveling all over the place with these major, huge brand deals, making fat checks.
Yeah.
Where the fuck do you think who was taking over her place? She was still getting a check for not coming into JK because everybody was on salary at the time.
Yeah.
Because Just Kidding News was making so much money. So whether you showed up to work or not, you got fucking paid. The paycheck to paycheck thing only happened recently because JK doesn't have a lot of money anymore, which is why they had to open up a Patreon. There's a background to this and the reason why it's like that. You guys only got a snip of the fucking story. Yeah. And you create a narrative that Tiff wasn't even creating. She wasn't shitting on them like that, but you guys decided to.
Once again, going back to, here's one part of information we know, so it must mean it's this, right? But then no, you don't have all the information. You shouldn't be saying so that's how it is. You still don't fucking know.
Yeah, so let's recap this. This is a company where you were paid salary, whether you were able to show up or not even for medical reasons. If you were gonna go out on a trip, you were gonna be gone for this week. All right, you're gonna be gone for this week. Cool, we'll find somebody to replace you. Come back next week. There is no other job on earth where you have unlimited fucking vacation, still get paid for not being there.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. If you haven't been focusing on your mental health, my friends, you are missing out. And guess what? BetterHelp might be the thing for you. Now, I know a lot of traditional therapy, you do it in person, but not all of us are comfortable doing it in person. I actually prefer doing it online through online means and even through their app. BetterHelp has been a great accessible way, not only accessible, by the way, also a very affordable way for me to get the mental help I need by talking to a therapist and a professional that'll help me sort through my thoughts and ideas. Now, I gotta tell you, being in a safe space at home, being able to do it and schedule it on my own time while being able to contact my therapist whenever I need has been super, super helpful because I am very, very busy. So check it out. Visit betterhelp.com/genius. That's BetterHelp and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. Special offer for Genius Brain listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/genius. For 3 or 4 years, it was like that.
You just get fired.
You just get fucking fired.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you guys talking about out there? What are you talking? This is shit that you don't fucking know. Hey, let me go ahead and add more to this. Out of appreciation and gratitude, after they cut all of us a percentage check, everybody, Casey got a fat check too. Yeah. He got a bigger check than I did because he's been there since day one and he was a paid employee.
Yeah.
After that, they took us to a full paid trip to Japan. We didn't pay for that trip, guys. They paid for flight, food, hotel, stay, activities, everything. We paid zero out of pocket. We were in Japan for like a week and a half.
Damn.
Every fucking employee. Guess who else went too? They paid for Tiff's kid, Isaac.
You know, the best I got from one of my jobs is like $100 gift card for employee of the month. And one time, I won some ping pong tournament, so I got tickets to a Clippers playoff game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the fucking Clippers in the playoffs.
Guess who else was brought on the trip to Japan?
Ooh.
Fucking Gina. Gina was an occasional guest on JK News. They flew Gina out too.
Right. Dang.
You guys, we didn't pay for that Japan trip, that trip that you saw all those vlogs on. Bart and Joe paid it. Guess what? On top of that, every year after that, we had a trip to Vegas, full paid, hotel, food, everything, events, shows, everything. JK paid for it. We had a company trip to Vegas every fucking year.
So it's sounds like that it was more than an employee, that they cared about this individual and her family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only the fucking Vegas trip, we had Big Bear trips too.
I mean, I see it on Instagram. Damn, that was fun. I'm at my fucking cubicle.
Yeah.
I'm dying here.
Those are full paid JK trips, people.
Yeah.
That's when the company was making a lot of money. Hey, let me add more to this. How great this company is to work for.
Yeah, it keeps
for people
going.
Who don't know. In the month of December, none of us worked because it was holiday season. In the month of December, we stopped working and we got paid full, plus bonuses.
Damn.
December, we didn't work because they wanted all of us to spend time with our families, which is why we got to go on trips, which is why you see everybody with their family on Christmas. And by the way, the vacation basically started after Thanksgiving or during Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a month and a half or a month and a week of no work, full fucking pay.
Yeah.
Plus fat bonuses.
I mean, when you read the comments, it really sounds like Tiff is struggling.
Yeah. And you guys made it sound like Tiff is struggling. This is fucking crazy. And here's one of the things too. When I saw her video, one of the things that I was a little irritated at, not at her, was what she said was that Bart and Joe kind of left her hanging without pay. And I was like, okay, cool. So I actually messaged them. I was like, hey bro, in this video, people don't fucking know this. I talked to Bart and Joe about that. That was the one thing I hit him up about. I was like, did you not give her did you guys leave her stranded, not give her an exit pay? Bro, she didn't even say that. So check this fucking shit out. And by the way, as I say this, when I talk to Bart and Joe about this, there's also other employees that can corroborate this information and they'll tell you that this is true. During the month that she was gone, Bart actually asked her if she needed money for the checks, and she said that she was fine because she's doing well at Big Mood. She's killing at Big Mood, that she didn't need the money. She's fine.
Yeah.
Which is dope because Tiff is fucking killing it. She's a boss ass bitch. She's fucking killing it. That's who she is. She was offered pay for that month when her grandma was sick and they were in Texas, and she said it was fine. And they were having scheduling conflicts and they were going to have this conversation about her not being happy in the company because it was pretty evident. You saw it in the other comments too prior to those videos that, oh, Tiff doesn't look like she has a lot of energy. And it's true because for a couple of years, like she said in her video, she didn't feel like she wanted to be in the company. When have you ever worked at a place where you can openly communicate to your boss that you don't want to be there and then still keep your job for 2-3 years?
Damn.
Like, when?
I mean, I got kicked to the curb immediately when I said, I had my year review at one of my companies. I was like, yo, I don't like it here. Either give me a raise or I'm out. And they're like, well, thank you for all your work.
That's how most company runs.
Yeah.
So when you say that, JK, oh, we thought you were like a family, how much more of a family is that?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, my family doesn't do that shit for me. So damn.
So check this out too. And so when I confronted Bart and Joe about that, they also said this. So during the exiting part, right?
Yeah.
And once again, like I said, Tiff's a sweet girl. She's smart. She could agree with all this stuff too. So they originally weren't even thinking about letting her go per se. They wanted to see where she was at, if she still wanted to stay at the company.
Yeah.
So Bart already had in his mind, depending on her financial status, if she wanted to leave or leave the company, he was going to back pay her 3 months of salary. So her exit fee was going to be 3 months of salary, full salary.
Whoo.
Where the fuck do you guys go off? You have no fucking information about this stuff. And once again, this is not just Bart and Joe saying this. There's another employee that can corroborate this because they heard this conversation. So I had to double check. So he already was ready to pay that. But once again, Tiff already stated that Big Mood is fucking killing it. She's making a lot of money. So she's good, which of course she's good, guys. Look at her. She's like brand deals left and right. She makes more money than me for sure.
Yeah.
I'm still renting. She owns a house.
Yeah. I mean, I saw her Toyota thing too. I was like, damn, like, how come you didn't get a Toyota?
I have a Toyota.
Yeah, you just bought one. Like, you love your car.
Exactly. I fucking love my 4Runner Toyota. You know what I mean? Like, there's this weird...
And how long have you been begging McDonald's?
I know, McDonald's. You fucking know I exist. You'll give me something. Send me a box. I don't need even money. Just send me a box of something, please.
Meanwhile, Gina got like a chicken McNugget bouquet.
Fucking you big-titted, beautiful bitch. That's why. But this is what I'm saying. And once again, this is not talking about Tiff. I'm talking about the comments that are being made with you guys surmising the stupid shit off of the little information that she gave. And it wasn't even a bad video. But you need to know this fucking information before you go ahead and tear this down. Why isn't Bart saying stuff? What is he going to say aside from saying something that makes Tiff look bad?
Yeah.
He still cares about her. He doesn't want to fucking destroy her. Because I asked him, well, how come you haven't put out a video? Because the reasoning is, what can I say that makes Tiff look good? It doesn't make her look good. So if people want to say what they're going to say, I'm just going to let them say what they'll say.
Yeah, if he defends himself, then it's just going to now be a fucking more headbutting, like more drama,
exactly.
More bullshit. And I commend it. I commend both of them for just being exactly about it.
By the way, me and Joe were just in Hawaii with Casey and Tiff.
Yeah.
Not that fucking long ago. We hang out with, we love these people. What the fuck are people talking about? It's sad that at the end of the day that it didn't work out. But once again, think about it. It's a pretty good split. She didn't want to be there for quite a few years. This is not side conversation. This is like stuff that she has openly told me that she wasn't happy being there.
Yeah. And she said in the video.
And she said it in the video.
Yeah.
And now they split. And she said that she was a little upset about how it happened. But once again, from her information, she wasn't iced out for 2 months. She left to Mexico. She left to Dallas for personal reasons. All this stuff. And then there was conflict issues. Bart and Gio live in Vegas. And then on top of that, she says she has scheduling issues. So how are scheduling issues you being iced out when clearly you've communicated enough where you know that there's scheduling issues? Yeah. So who is being iced out here? I think maybe her word usage was wrong, right? But once again, when you're hurt, you're going to say a few things. So I'm going to defend Tiff on that. She's probably was, hurt, and she's distraught that she's leaving a job that she was at for a very fucking long time.
There's a lot of personal things that, people feel when they leave a company they've been a part of for that long.
Yeah.
Too, honestly. I felt the type of way when I had to leave my store.
Yeah.
And I was there fucking 7 days a fucking week.
100%.
And, I had choice words, and over time I look back at the words I say to and I could have used something else. But then it does create a narrative that causes people to think some type of way. And in the beginning, when I first got back, you saw how distraught I was about leaving my store. But I never wanted you to think some type of way about my mom, like she was an evil person or anything like that, And that's not the way I want people to hear it either.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she was trying to be very careful with her words so that the people in the comments wouldn't go out and hate on them, because she was saying, I don't hate them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then in the comments, they're doing the exact fucking opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. And you know what the crazy thing is? By the way, Bart and Joe aren't perfect. Yeah. None of us are. Bart and Joe have definitely made mistakes in the company before.
Yeah.
Right? And of course, who's ever had a perfect boss? This boss stuff too, by the way, is also new to them. They weren't ever expecting to grow this company the way that it did and to have all these employees. Yeah. But I will say this, and remember guys, I was also a part of Just Kidding News, and I also left. And I also did a video of me leaving, right? But guess how I did it? When I felt that I didn't want to be a part of the company more to pursue what I wanted, I had a very quick talk with Bart, and I go, hey, Bart and Joe, I was like, hey guys, I can't come on JK. I want to pursue my own things. You know what they said? They go, cool, man. And they gave me exit pay. Yeah. They didn't even have to give me exit pay. I didn't even fucking need it.
Yeah.
And they gave me exit pay and I left. That's also include Brandon, also includes Julia Chow, everybody.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are people talking about leaving somebody iced out and not giving them money? I had no idea that Tiff was impoverished. When in the fuck have you guys put this narrative that Tiff is somebody you should pity as she drives wiping her tears in her Tesla?
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about right now? Has she asked you to pity her like that? What is this? Where's this narrative coming from?
Are you guys gonna now send her money?
Yeah, and it's also to defend Tiff, that's kind of offensive. Oh, poor Tiff, she's killing it, dude. She's fucking killing it. What are people talking about right now?
Yeah. Just to get some info, I listened to the Big Mood podcast too on this part. And it was so totally peacefully amicable.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, being in a company for 10 years is a long fucking time. It's crazy that you stayed that long anyway. Yeah. Most people don't stay at their jobs longer than a year or two.
Yeah.
And that was the narrative I was hearing. I was like, doesn't sound like any beef. Then I read the fucking YouTube comments and it's like, you guys are in your own fucking heads. And maybe because it's cool to shit on your boss, because, everyone's got beef with their bosses, right?
Yeah.
But then you can go on the internet and say some shit about your boss, hoping that they won't read it. But then you can also shit on Jeff Bezos. You can also shit on Bill Gates. You can shit on all these billionaires, and act like Bart and Joe is Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Talking about fucking Joe living in a fucking garage, dude.
Wait till they go to the moon. Wait till they go to space.
Yeah, and then I gotta tell you, and like I said, I'm only gassed up because of the comments about people talking about their work culture and how bad of a boss they are.
Yeah.
Once again, just so we could highlight this, month of December, completely off, fully paid.
Yeah.
Plus bonuses when the company does well. Split profit on their biggest brand deal with all the people who interned for free or helped out without pay to make up for the back pay that they didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Bart and Joe, during the time that everybody says that they were a free intern, you guys are also assuming that Bart and Joe were getting a paycheck. They didn't take shit. Yeah. They only got paid when they did shows, which was so little money.
And they had to split it.
And they had to split it between 3 fucking people. They were fucking poor as fucking shit.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if you show up as one person entity of your brand, then that person gets all the money. But if you're fucking 3 people, it comes up pretty short.
Exactly. So when, there was a previous employee talking about the free internship thing, and she also failed to mention that Bart and Joe didn't take any money either. And everything was going into paying the editors, the video shooters, the equipment, and building the company.
So that you can put it up on YouTube at all.
Exactly.
How are you going to get it up at all?
Exactly. So it's like the audacity for people to say this about people who have literally given. There's anybody out there that's been in upper management that has their own company. Is Bart and Joe fucking dumb or not? They're dumb because of how much they gave. I look at it from my like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Don't give me this check. Are you out of your fucking mind? I don't deserve this shit.
Yeah.
And that's not me just saying it as a friend. I'm saying you're giving us a little too much. But that's what happens sometimes in these companies. They feel these people who haven't worked jobs outside of other stuff in entertainment, they feel like they deserve more because they haven't worked another job outside of it.
Man, like if you actually work in the entertainment industry, JK News sounds like fucking heaven.
Yeah. And you've been on set. How fucking easy is it?
Yeah. It's goddamn easy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and once again,
fuck.
to give Tiff credit, even though she worked 4 days, she also had to research articles and stuff like that too. So that's also a part of her job.
Yeah.
But once again, 4 days a week, 4 days a month.
Yeah.
And got paid very handsome. Very fucking handsome.
Yeah.
I can't give you guys the numbers, but it was a lot. I'll give you my numbers and I'll just say this. I didn't get paid as much as her.
Yeah.
I got paid to show up maybe 3 times a month at the time for about like $3,000 or $3,500 a month.
Damn. And damn.
Yeah.
That's fair, and also very generous.
Exactly. Yeah. And by the way, not including bonuses, not including the trips that they gave us. I didn't even feel like I deserved the bonus.
Yeah.
And we even had this conversation too, where they're like, oh, David, well, you helped build their company. I put no equity in there. I put no fucking money. I didn't help with the scheduling. I didn't help with the concept. I came in and I showed up as a clown and I laughed like an actor does.
Yeah.
I got paid pretty well for what I did.
Yeah.
And by the way, once again, they're like, well, if you were on a TV show, you would get paid more. Once again, on a TV show, though, I didn't make salary for not showing up.
Yeah, they would have found a replacement real quick.
Exactly.
Get Bobby Lee on the phone.
Hey, Bart and Joe, I'm going to be on a movie for the next 2-3 months that I'm writing and producing. Are you okay? Cool, David. We'll still give you a check and then come back whenever.
Damn.
You never, ever, ever get that.
Yeah. So
now that you guys know the context of how this company has ran, are you still going to say that they are fucking money hungry and greedy? When you look at Bart's success and the money that he has, that's not from JK.
And how can you say they're bad bosses? You don't fucking work for them.
Exactly.
Like, if anyone said my mom was a bad boss, I'd be like, come here. Those are fighting words.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck are you talking
don't
about?
Work at my goddamn store,
Exactly.
Yeah, like I don't want to hear that shit.
And once again, this idea of like being iced out, which once again, I feel like that was maybe Tiff's like poor choice of words because she was hurt. And once again, understandably so, you got let go of a job that you, not even let go. I wouldn't even say she was let go. She chose to leave. She said it herself. She didn't want to be there. She said she was relieved. She chose to leave. The conversation that they were going to have wasn't, Tiff, you're fired. It was, hey, what do we want to do? Because you've expressed that you don't like being here.
Yeah.
And her response was, well, I should be fired. I should leave. She can corroborate this. Yeah. She knows this stuff. It was just a short video. She's not going to explain this stuff in detail. She's not a terrible person. And the video wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
This is the conversation. This is what I don't fucking understand. And people are like, oh my God, we were such huge fans. You clearly were not. You absolutely were not. You love drama. You guys are fucking trauma porn people.
Yeah, I can sense that even with the episodes that I was on, just reading the comments, was just how much like people were waiting to just shit on Joe.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yo, leave him alone. What the fuck? Yeah. Like, I was blessed to even be on there. I'm a fucking nobody. And they were gracious enough to be like, hey, you're interesting enough. Like,
you don't want to hear some crazy shit too? People also forget. The reason why Tiffany's saying is she's also really grateful. And when she talks about gratefulness, she's also saying it too because once again, in the terms of entertainment, she was also a nobody. She was just Casey's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then she was handed the personal assistant job because Bart and Joe didn't have enough money in the company to pay her. So they did it out of their pocket. And they asked me on the side if I could hire her too so she could make some money.
And then she became somebody.
Exactly.
Right? Because of them wanting to lift her up when she had no merit.
Do you think Tiff knew how to host? Who do you think taught her how to host? Who?
Beats me.
Who the fuck do you think taught them? We did.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this too. There's something else. How terrible Bart and Joe are that they took their personal channel, JK News and JK Films, and they posted the Tiff and Case trailer to promote their channel so they could make a living making brand deals doing other stuff.
Yeah,
they're terrible bosses, dude. They all promoted their channel that they're making a fat income off of right now in the beginning to help set their career right outside of this. And by the way, people also forget this. You know who helped them start the channel? Fucking Bart and Gio.
Yeah.
Coached them on how to set up format, how to do. That was Bart and Gio. I was there at the JK News where Gio and Bart were telling them about what they can do and the potential that they can reach with that channel. I was there. This is not me assuming. I was there for those conversations.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are people talking about?
Well, I would assume on a, I don't know, I want to say like from a fan perspective, but then that's not very fan-like to be like this. Like that's what's so, I don't know if I want to say intriguing or crazy or just fucked up, is just like, are you guys fans or are you guys just like, I knew I was right all that time I was in my head watching these shows and having my opinions?
Yeah. I mean, let's even break this down, right? And I want people to think about this. So I think maybe in the video, she also mentioned that they felt that, you know, the show was better without her, and she also agreed, right? She agreed with it.
Okay.
And when have you ever known somebody to go on a platform where you have to smile and be happy, be good at it when they hate their job? Like we were just joking about this earlier. What if like off camera, before we started this podcast, Ed comes in, right? He goes, I fucking hate doing this podcast. This is so fucking dumb. Like, I don't know why I'm even here. We don't even connect. And I go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. Welcome to an episode of the Genius Brain Podcast.
All right, let's start this shit.
Yeah.
5.
Yeah. So,
oh, geez.
So the reason why I say that, I want people to think about that, is that knowing this, do you think that people in the cast could feel that energy? She knew it too. Yeah. She mentioned it in her own video. And I don't know why people aren't even mentioning that part that she mentioned, that she didn't want to be there for a very long time and she felt a sigh of relief. So was she let go or did she decide to leave? Maybe she's upset because the conversation was brought up and she felt that she was going to get fired, so she jumped the gun. I don't know the stuff. And that detail doesn't fucking matter because it was amicable.
Yeah.
That is the point. So when I read these comments about people questioning how terrible they are as bosses, I have a very, very different narrative. And once again, I also left JK News. I also worked for them.
Yeah.
So I am allowed to have this fucking opinion. And by the way, I was there for 90% of the stuff. So what are you talking about? If anything else, everybody who has left a terrible comment calling them terrible bosses and they don't care and it's not a family, you need to go back to those channels, remove your fucking thumbs down and apologize to them. They deserve a fucking apology. Why isn't Bart saying something? Why isn't Joe really saying something? Because they don't want to make this a bigger issue and make her look bad, because she doesn't need to look bad. She's not a villain in this. Bart and Joe aren't villains. It didn't work out. She worked for a company for 10, 11 years. People change, people grow. She is doing bigger and better things with her own company.
Yeah. I mean, even if you are like, you know, saying such comments and things like, oh, why aren't they saying anything? Why aren't they responding? Those people who leave those comments don't want to hear what they have to say anyway.
They don't.
They're not going to be like, oh, that's the other side of the story. You know that's not what's going to happen.
Exactly.
They just want to see more beef. They just want to see more trauma.
Yeah.
And then they're not satisfied that Bart and Joe aren't going to feed them.
Oh, you guys want to hear something else too? I also forgot this other piece of information. The pot gets sweeter and sweeter.
Okay.
Pot gets sweeter. So you guys also know Casey's parents own a part of Junbi. Well, they franchised the Junbi.
Yeah.
And they actually want to franchise a couple of more, depending on how they feel. So they're a big part of this company, right?
Yeah.
Casey also owns a part of Junbi company, the whole. And so does Tiff. Guess how much money they put in?
No idea.
0. We gave them sweat equity.
Oh, how generous. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they own a part of a 7-figure business for $0. And you know who fought for them? Joe.
I was going to say, you? Wow.
It was Joe.
Wow.
Joe fought to give them a bigger percentage of the company, because here's something else that people don't know. And I wish they would just fucking say this sometimes. But once again, I don't know how they would. Junbi was also, because we're a company where we do contracted work, where technically we got a salary, but we were all contracted, in the sense that we got paid for our work, but they would just give us free money as contractors.
Yeah.
Because that's really what we are, as contracted work. It was actually set up as an investment portfolio, as a retirement plan for all the OG members of JK. So if you had any type of money, we wanted them to invest into Junbi, not because we needed the money, because we're already set for investing, but we wanted to give them some of the sweat, not sweat equity, but some of the percentage investment stuff and give them an early head start while the company is a lot cheaper if they wanted to do so. Well, Tiffany and Case wanted a certain amount from of the company, and they offered a certain amount of money, but it wasn't enough to give them that piece of the company. So instead, we said, hey, how about you guys just get sweat equity? Just post a little bit here and there, and then we'll give you a part of the company. So they own Junbi, a part of Junbi for free. A 7-figure company.
Yeah.
What the fuck are any of you talking about how terrible these people are? Do you know a single fucking boss that allows you to go on whatever trip that you want, show up whenever the fuck that you want, say that you hate your job, keep your job, and still figure out a way to make your job work, even if the creative differences were there? Gives you sweat equity in a side company that they put zero investment in. December free with full salary plus bonuses, Vegas trips, international trips to Japan.
You gotta win like an Omei sweepstake to get that kind of shit.
By the way, people,
without like even paying into Omei's at all, like, and then get that shit.
And by the way, a job acquired with zero experience on the ground floor.
Yeah.
No production experience, no hosting experience, and they would develop people from the ground up because you were the girlfriend of one of our favorite employees and we loved you enough to give you that job.
Yeah. You cared about her. You cared about her family.
Cared about her kid.
Yeah.
Flew their kid out to Japan. They didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that at all. They didn't have to pay for a stay. They didn't have to do any of that shit. And I love that fucking kid.
Yeah.
So this narrative that you wrote for her, that she didn't even do for herself, and you vilify these people, you motherfuckers owe them a fucking apology because you didn't know any of this shit. And they shouldn't have to say all the great things that they've done. I am not exaggerating. I'm not making this shit up. These are just facts. These are facts. And you see it all on YouTube. The proof is there.
Yeah.
The proof is fucking out there. So as somebody who was a former employee and also a friend, it pisses me off to hear this because I know so much stuff that they won't say because they don't want to jack each other off.
Yeah.
Like what? And I don't,
because it is a lot for them to say everything you just said. Like that is a whole lot of masturbatory shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they're going to feel about me saying this stuff. And I'll deal with the consequences later.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I feel that maybe they don't want this information out, but whatever. Me and Bart will hash it out later on. Me, Bart, and Joe will hash it out later on. All that matters right now is that I need people to understand this before you go on this tirade and you shit on these people who have given so fucking much. And once again, they are not perfect. They have fucked up in the company too, because, they're not bosses normally, right?
And those are responsibilities that they have to deal with.
Exactly. Yeah. And they have to apologize. They have to move forward and stuff like that. And they aren't fucking perfect. Absolutely not. There are going to be employees that don't agree with some of their direction and the stuff that they do. But at the end of the day, it's based on their dollar and they built the 7-figure company. They didn't. So they have to trust their bosses.
And the comments you're hearing too is like, what the fuck do you expect? You think Bart and Joe are going to get on their knees in front of a camera and apologize specifically to you because of your YouTube comment?
Yeah,
like,
not even what she said, what you said?
Yeah, what you said. Not to Tiff, to what the comments are saying. Like, they don't give a fuck about you guys either.
Yeah.
But they give a fuck about Tiff.
Yeah. So they're not going to go out of their way to fucking bash her.
Yeah.
Why? Why do that? And let's even put it in perspective like this. You guys watch Big Mood. You guys know they had their small company. They were around for a year. They already lost 2 of their members. What the fuck are you talking about? That's also Tiff's company.
Yeah. The best you can ask for too is for your fans not to be starting drama and shit in the comments either and say, I knew that, Tiff.
Yeah.
I knew that Big Mood Girls was like this. And it's like, no, we're not saying any of that shit either.
Shout out to Genius Brain listeners, minus a couple people who wanted to, you should bring Tiff to talk. You motherfuckers can get the fuck off my channel, right? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, dude. But thank God for Genius Brain listeners or my brain farts out there.
Yeah, that you
guys are level-headed and you want to hear about this shit. But I have to say something because it bothers me about this. And if it was like 3 or 4 comments, it's whatever. But I read the comments. It's like these comments are getting thousands of likes. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of people, huh? So you don't even know. You don't know fucking shit.
I would assume a lot of those likes are coming from people who, like, let's say, yeah, I stopped watching Just Kidding News this many years ago. I stopped watching ever since. I stopped watching.
No, you did it. You're on the channel.
Yeah, and so like I can see that I don't know if stragglers are the right words, but it's kind of like a church split.
Yeah,
People
it is.
are like going to this new side and be like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
And they don't even give a fuck about you.
They really don't, man.
Yeah.
And so those people who say that they were fans and that, they knew how they were the whole time. Well, now you have a better picture of how this company ran and how much these fucking jackasses were giving to their fucking employees. Too much, guys. But once again, like, fuck, man.
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing at just how much you really care.
Yeah, it's like so annoying. Like, I told these fuckers, dude, like, you guys fucking give too much, man. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, it's great, right? But no, anybody who worked a regular job in production, they came here, they'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
You're telling me that I can just go on a vacation to Mexico in a month and you're still going to pay me?
Yeah.
And once again, just to reiterate, this was before the whole adpocalypse happened and the company was going under.
Yeah.
And it's just so fucking hilarious. Like all this little bit of drama that stirs up from nothing that the person made the video about. This, like,
I think people in those comments also don't understand if you worked in the entertainment business. If you worked at a company, I'm not gonna say like JK. If you worked at JK, and then you left and tried to find another job in entertainment, good fucking luck trying to find that money.
you will never.
You're gonna regret leaving a company like that.
By the way, there are people that I have fired in my company because they were terrible workers, and we had long talks about their behavior and their work. They never got they got like 3 or 4 chances and they were out.
Yeah.
I've seen these fucking dumbasses, Bart and Joe, give people who are so underqualified fucking up the job 24/7. Used to fucking frustrate me. And I would talk to them and they would say shit like, they're gonna get better. They're gonna get better. I'm like, what in the fuck is wrong with you?
They're big believers, man.
Yeah, they're like, no, man. This person's down as fuck. Their family. It's like, you fucking guys, dude. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah, I mean, like, they went above and beyond to give so many chances to a lot of people that fucked up within, right?
Bro, and I'll tell you this. This is an employee too. I'm not going to give out names, right? An employee that worked at this company that was so fucking stupid. And you've heard this story before, but this was a JK employee that watered fake plants for a whole year.
It's growing nice and green. He's so happy. He's like just feeling the leaves.
If you've heard the story before, I'm going to say it again because it applies here. This just goes to show how fucking blindly these motherfuckers. If anything, you guys should be mad at Bart and Joe for fucking hiring people that aren't qualified.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, once again too, and a lot of people who weren't qualified turned out to be great employees, and this is what they bank on because they're looking more at the person than they are at their skill set because they feel that a lot of people can learn on the job.
Yeah.
Some people can't. This employee during our by the way, we would have end of the year wraps where we talk about the positive stuff that we did, what we loved about this year before we got our bonuses. How fucking nice is that shit, by the way?
Yeah.
That shit was so nice it made my skin crawl. And so this employee during this time, he goes, so what did you feel that you did well? Guy smiles, big smile, snotty. He goes, check out the plants. Ed. One of the other employees stands up. He goes, you are the one that's been dumping water into the fake fucking plants this whole year.
Like
I had to clean that shit up. An office that had no windows.
Yeah.
All fluorescent lights in pure darkness, and he was watering these plants. Basic science states that plants need photosynthesis.
Wow. Yeah.
They need UV rays and soil and real soil.
It's like, hey, we're in the middle of a drought.
This employee too, by the way, came to JK with zero fucking experience, and he or she fucked up everything.
Right.
And I was watching it, and they just had to deal with the stress. You know why? Because this person needed a job.
Yeah.
And they needed money, so they kept paying them out of their pocket.
Yeah.
Because they needed a job, even when they fucked up. Because they were like, this dude has a good heart. And because they have a good heart, we want to keep people like around in this company and they can learn. Just turns out that this guy or girl couldn't learn.
it seems like this kind of person you look on with pity because, like, man,
where else are you going to work?
Yeah, if you were out there in the real world, even at Chick-fil-A, I think they'd be tired of your ass.
Oh, this person too. After JK, after this person left the company, worked another job, and got fired on the first day because of his fake watering plant ass. Because they got so frustrated because I know the person who owns that restaurant got so fucking frustrated because he couldn't follow simple instructions and was fucking people up.
Damn.
Like at a restaurant, like almost burning people.
My gosh.
Like this is who this person is. This person also, because they didn't have any money, and they were trying to figure out like how they can fit in and how they can give up a job, was given an opportunity to do graphic work, right? Wasn't very good at it either, right? So they couldn't do that. So he was like, hey, like we need to hire a custodian here. I know this isn't like the best work, but if you need the cash, you just have to do like basic cleaning stuff. Dude, the worst shit ever. This guy vacuumed the office without the bag.
So it's just like
flowing dust out. So one of the other employees came in and they were like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what? There's no bag on it. So the dust was flying out the back of the fucking vacuum.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Kept the job for 3 years before they had to let this person go. Only reason why this person was let go is because adpocalypse happened and they didn't have enough money to keep him around.
Yeah.
So when you say that these people just leave their family out in the dust, is a complete false narrative. What they do is they hire incompetent people 24/7.
If you want to be mad at them, that's a legit reason to be like, hey, man.
Yeah, but some people who weren't qualified for the job, they turned out really good. Yeah. And I think that they're basing like they're expecting the best out of people.
Yeah.
I don't hire incompetent people because I don't like dealing with that stuff. I don't deal with that shit. I hire people who know what they're doing and they could help me grow. Bart and Joe believe in the best in people, even if they're not.
Yeah.
Like Tiff came to JK News with zero hosting experience, no entertainment experience at all. They built her up. They helped build her personal channel. Gio was the one who started Big Mood.
Yeah.
What the fuck are any of you talking about?
I mean, it sounds like, like I said, that people like Bart and Joe just believe in the grit or in the humanity.
Because it was that's how we were too. We didn't know anything.
Yeah.
We had to figure it out for ourselves. So stupid people like us can do it. Other people can too.
Yeah. It's like, that's a really good way to really, like, if you are a good boss, you see someone fuck up and expect them to fuck up and be like, they'll get better. And believing that in yourself, in them, when they might not, and be like, they'll get better. And they'll say they'll get better after 3 years. But I mean, like, yeah.
I told you this story. Let me just even continue the story even more. Yeah. This same employee, right? They were shooting a sketch, and I told them about this. They had to get gas for a generator.
Yeah.
And I told them the story. You get a gas for a generator. This said employee was given a GPS. They go, hey, follow this GPS. The directions are really simple, but they know that he has fuck up habits. So gave him the GPS. So he was like, hey, when you get this GPS, follow it and it's easy. All you have to do is go out and at the fork, you're going to hit a left and not a right. You go straight down. That's where the gas station is.
Yeah.
Dude goes, got it. He goes, no, take the GPS. He goes, I don't need the GPS. Offended that anybody would assume that he needs a GPS because he's fucking MacGyver over here or fucking Magellan. Yeah. Magellan, he knows everything.
You can read the fucking constellation.
Exactly. So he starts driving off. This is a grip truck, by the way. Yeah. He leaves the e-brake up. All you hear is a terrifying screech.
Like just
going, and they're screaming, pull the e-brake up. The e-brake is so fucking loud, can't hear shit. Keeps going. All he has to do is hit a left. That's all we need. He hits a right.
Oh, God.
Disappears for hours.
Oh, my God.
He still kept his job.
Yeah.
This said employee, like I'm telling you, there's stories all day. And once again, it has to do with the fact that we're also not perfect. So we believe people can grow.
I mean, I'm dyslexic. I've taken the wrong turn when you say.
I've been there.
Yeah. And we can understand that. But still, like, because we live in the fucking 21st century and we got GPS, I won't get lost after a wrong turn.
Yeah.
And I don't go missing for hours.
Yep.
Because of my dyslexia. I just have to follow a blue line.
This also said employee, once again, and this was not even the reason. Once again, this person was only let go because they didn't have the money to keep the person around. Came up to Joe and asked for a raise. You've heard how many times this person has fucked up. Asked for a raise. They found another position in the company that he could do that was very easy. I'm talking about if you found out how much he got paid for the work that he did, you would shit your fucking pants.
Yeah.
Simply because they know that he needed a job.
Yeah.
Paid this person to do so. Doesn't do his job. Asked for a raise. Simple conversation. Hey, I've been around this company for about 2-3 years now. I feel like I need to get paid more. Cool. Did you do your work today? Yes, I did. So if I check your work, did you do it? No, I didn't. So last week, did you do your job? No. Do you deserve a raise? Probably not. Thank you. Gets up and walks out.
Yeah. Do you remember doing that to Eddie's couch? Why would I do such a thing? Yeah, I remember doing that. Straight up like, are you on coke, bro?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So, and these are all fucking hilarious stories.
Yeah.
But we're in the company, we're all losers like that. And we all deserve second chances. And, I only bring up these stories that you guys maybe have heard before, and I'm saying it again, is for you guys to understand what type of bosses they are. Once again, they are not perfect. They have fucked up before too. And we had to solve all these problems before because they've made mistakes. But you can never ever question about saying, number one, say that they're money hungry and that they're greedy and they don't care about their employees. Because there's not a single job, anybody who has worked at a company can attest to this, that you will never ever work a job that you are paid that type of money for that little work with that many bonuses for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
You get to come in and say that you hate your job and still keep your job for 2-3 years and still be friends. There is no other job like that where you have zero experience and you are put at a high position in a company.
Basically, they kept him alive.
Exactly. And now somebody like Tiff is highly successful. Fuck yeah, Tiff. Proud of you as shit.
Yeah.
So don't write her narrative for her. Don't write her narrative that she's somebody you should pity. And she said that she was upset about the way it went down. But once again, I'm saying this as just from seeing her video alone. She would probably said it because she was upset that she had to leave the company in the way that it happened. But once again, her timeline didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Go watch her video again and it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Iced out means zero communication. You were in another country, you were in another state, and which you communicated that you would be out of. You guys tried scheduling it together and you guys both had separate schedules. Bart and Gio live in Vegas and it didn't work out and it finally happened. So, and by the way too, because I know Bart, if they would have said, hey, this is super important right now, can we just talk about my future in this company? You could have just got it done. That's how it works. It's very simple. So let's not go ahead and vilify people for the things that they shouldn't be vilified for. I cannot sit here as somebody who not only is a friend, but somebody who worked with the company for 10 fucking years for people to say shit that just isn't true. It is not true. I was there. I left that job. We did it very amicably. It was very easy. They gave me exit pay. Not just because I'm a friend. Everybody who left got the same shit. What the fuck are people talking about? How dare you? You owe them a fucking apology.
Yeah. I mean, like, I had an experience with a past company where 1 year I had a yearly review and they were like, you've done so much and saved this company so many times because I wasn't just an editor. I do After Effects too. There's so many fucking CG jobs that I had to do that's outside of my fucking, job description, to have to save this company from brand deals and such that that they gave me a great raise 1 year. And they said, by next year, we're going to bump it another 20%.
No,
right?
wow.
And then I was like, fuck yeah. And even I was like, yeah, I can't wait for that. I stayed with that company for a year. My next yearly review came up and they were like, no, we're not going to give you that. And I fucking left.
Yeah.
I fucking left. And I don't know how to say it except that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Right?
Crazy.
And I said, hey, you said that you were going to give me that. My problem was that I didn't get it written, in stone, I guess, or whatever, on a contract, on paper, anything. And I had to deal with that. Was I sour? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I was sour about that. But you know what else I knew too, though, was like who I was and what I'm capable of. And the fact that I've had so many people calling, asking me, hey, will you come to our company? Will you come to our company? Will you come to our company? And I let them know that too. Hey, other people are calling my name. Do you want to give me that raise you said you were going to give me, or just have me leave? And they were like, said the same thing. We're not going to give it to you. And I was friends with the CEO when the company was 50 people. I fucking shared a desk with him. I'm editing. He's doing CEO work.
Yeah.
And then it grew to like 700 people. And so I was like, I'm going to send him a goodbye email. And then he sent me back an email. Hey, come to my office right now.
Yeah.
And he apologized. Like, I'm sorry, like that you're not getting that pay. But then like I hired this VP for a reason, for her to do her job. And it would be complete nepotism for me to just, because I want to give you that money. I want to give it to you, but I can't do it. She's going to probably quit because of that, all that. They laid it out. We talked about it. And I said, I get it. I understand. And there's another company that's going to give me the money.
Yeah.
And you know what? So I fucking left.
Yeah.
Sometimes guys like, yeah, this shit fucking burns.
Yeah.
This shit fucking hurts, But, if you're just going to look at, the narrative, let's quote unquote, then yeah, you have every reason to say, fuck that old company and throw the bad bosses and those liars and two-faced, whatever. Say whatever the fuck you want. What was I going to do by like remaining in this squalor and being like, oh, these motherfuckers, or moving forward and moving it ahead with my job and going to my next gig?
Yeah.
And just, we all got to work. We all got to survive. I am not better than the hand that feeds me.
Yeah. Yeah. And also too, it's like, having said that, do you think that your attitude at the work would have been perceived as a good attitude? People would sense all that shit.
Yeah.
Once again, Tiff said that she was relieved.
Yeah.
So it was very amicable. That girl is killing it. She's doing a great job in the stuff that she cares about. Like, and it's not like after she left JK, it's like she's losing 4 days of work. She had 26 other days to do whatever the fuck she wanted.
Yeah.
All of us did.
Yeah.
Now let's just to frame it though, when we were first doing JK, it was a lot of work. But once again, it reduced the amount of episodes we put up. And then on top of that now, we also got compensated well after the bonuses. We kept on getting these major bonuses. Yeah. Dude, the bonuses that I got were fucking ridiculous. Like,
I mean, they more than covered the back pay.
Oh, right? For sure they did.
Yeah.
By the way, it's like 3 or 4 days of work a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, the back pay was pretty fucking good, And also too, like I probably got paid more than some other people because I brought my fan base to their channel.
Yeah.
Because I was already established before JK News.
Yeah, and the only way this could be a problem is if Tiff died and then never saw that back pay.
Yeah.
If somebody died and then like, oh, there was this money they could have got, they died because you didn't pay them, Bart and Joe. It's like, that's not the way it happened. They made sure that they could live.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and they gave him a living.
Yeah, and remember guys, it wasn't mentioned in her video, but once again, it was a very short video, so why should she have to mention this? But the conversation was, what can we do? Like, you're not happy here. It wasn't you're fired. It was you're not happy here. And then the conversation was, hey, we're going to ask you how you are financially. And she's fine. Of course she is.
Yeah.
And said she didn't need the money. It was what she said.
Mm.
So you don't know these parts of the story, right? And it's not Tiff's fault. It's not Tiff's fault that she didn't say that. It was a short fucking video.
Yeah.
So don't even blame her for that either. Things are fine. They're still in the same company. We still have Junbi together. The stuff that they have sweat equity and that they put no money in and that they own. So things are perfectly okay. Casey shoots the content and the videos. He's a creative director at Junbi, and that's his sweat equity. And then Tiff comes along. That's it. And then she also owns a part of it. That's pretty fucking sweet. So, I mean, we're going to wrap the podcast at this point too. There's a lot of information that I divulged to everybody that most people don't know. And, Bart and Joe doesn't like the fact that I put this information out. We'll have a conversation later about it, but it's already out. So this is going to go up pretty soon because I need people to understand this, and I want apologies from everybody. Dude.
Yeah.
Fucking get on your tegaribago. I want everything, dude.
You gotta see blood.
Yeah, I want to see you get on your knees and be, I'm so sorry. I want you to fucking get on your hands. 손들어. I want you to raise your hand to the wall and hold it there.
Yeah, for like 4 hours.
For 4 hours. And if I see you drop that shit, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Elbow straight, bitches.
Yeah. Leave Tiff alone. Leave Bart and Joe alone. And fucking apologize. The next time I see a video, I better see fucking 10,000 likes on their fucking video. Because now you know the type of bosses that they are. Don't you fucking dare. Not as my friend, but as somebody who's a former employee and has watched everybody work there. I wasn't a former employee for a couple of years. I was there since the beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't get special fucking treatment. Everybody got treated the same.
Yeah.
Bart, in fact, beat the shit out of me a lot of times. I hated it. Until I learned how to fucking do some jujitsu when I boxed. And now it's still not even, but still, I could defend myself a little bit, you know? But anyways, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Fuck all you fucking, not my brain farts.
Yeah.
You guys are fan-fucking-tastic. Great thinkers too. Shout out to somebody else. I forgot your name, but he wrote this comment that I really liked. He wrote, David, like, you did something in my life that helped me change for the better. I don't even like or agree with 70% of the shit that you say, but you know, I think we could all agree to disagree, but I still love listening to your stuff.
Yeah, man, that's some fucking real shit, dude.
Yeah.
Some objective listening, man, and not like an emotional, like, oh, well, fuck David.
Yeah, because they just hop in the conversation like, yeah, I don't agree with that, but they don't get emotional about it. When people say weird shit, I don't fucking get emotional about that shit either. I'm just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I know we want to end, but then I literally, I posted that, you know how there's that skywriting in LA that said Joe Rogan is literally 5'3".
Oh, yeah.
And then I posted another meme after that showing he's more or less maybe 5'6" in reality, 5'7", you know? And then I got a DM saying, but Joe Rogan is a terrible person. And so I was like, look, he says a lot of shit, this and that, but then he brings on the smartest minds, the best educators, the most, like, the people who are at the top of their game.
People he disagrees with.
Yeah,
too.
and people who he disagrees with. But then there's just people who just paint him as whatever they think they are. You know, and those are the dumb motherfuckers who are painting Bart and Joe this way.
Yeah.
You know, and guess what? She blocked me. like I haven't heard from her since.
Of course. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's why. Yeah. Well, guys, you can find Ed Park at Ed Park VP. See him on Instagram, and you could see him on his own podcast.
Bible study at Momo. I'm working on a new episode. I know people keep asking me for one, but I've just been fucking lazy.
You piece of shit.
Yeah, but I'm working on a new episode.
Yeah, so check that out. Check out his stuff, and then we'll see you all next time.
We're going to talk about Space Jam.
Okay, we forgot. We'll do that on the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, bye.